Highlander Nation, are you ready for your next dental appointment? txhsbsb Dentistry covers all the bases. We're located in the Woodlands, Texas, and proud supporters of Highlanders baseball. txhsbsb Dentistry is a dual specialist dental office dedicated to compassionate, high-quality care. Their practice is unique because they have two separate sides of the office, one for pediatric and one for adult dentistry, so the entire family can be seen in one visit. Give us a call at 281-292-1605. Again, that's 281-292-1605. Or visit www.txhsbsb.com to schedule your next appointment. And be sure to mention Highlanders baseball. txhsbsb Dentistry, a home run for the whole family.
Sorry about that. I had a little issues with our audio, kind of doing this solo here tonight. And Sawyer Banks at the plate. Cash Clayton with the infield single. And there we go. Counts 1-2 on Sawyer Banks. If you're just joining us, sorry about my audio. And Clayton takes off a swing and a miss, and it's a foul tip at the plate. And Clayton would have had that bag easy. One ball, two strikes on the hitter, Sawyer Banks for your Highlanders. No outs. Cash Clayton singled. Bounced one over the head of the third baseman. Segura got it deep in the hole. Couldn't get the throw there in time. He beat it out for an infield single. Sawyer Banks at the plate. And that is fouled into the screen, and he keeps himself alive with no outs here in the bottom of the first. Andrew Clayton is on the mound for the Grizzlies. Grizzlies started the inning with a walk and then a fly ball and then ended the inning with a 5-4-3 double play. Clayton takes off and curveball misses. And that's going to be a stolen base for Cash Clayton, and the Highlanders have a runner in scoring position with no outs and a 2-2 count on the hitter, Sawyer Banks, as Eastwood calls time to go have a quick discussion with Clayton. I'm sure this is about signs with the runner at second. And now these days at the high school level, they're doing the same thing. They have their version of PitchCom. Wind blowing from right field to left field, so across the diamond here at Scotland Yard in this game 2 between the Grizzlies and Highlanders. The pitch swung and fouled straight back. It's going to keep it at 2-2. Grizzlies took game 1, score of 6-5. The 2-2. Misses just, I had to be high. That was on the plate. That's going to take the count full. Good eye there by Sawyer Banks. He was down 1-2, worked himself back into this count, and we're full at 3-2. No outs, runner at second. That's Cash Clayton. Led things off with a single for the Highlanders. Jack Schmeckle's on deck. Cruz Romo's in the hole. The payoff pitch is right there. Same pitch that he threw the one before. He gets the call this time for the strikeout in out number 1 as Banks is down looking for the first out of the inning.
Now batting for the Highlanders, number 11, Jack Schmeckle.
That brings up the pitcher, Jack Schmeckle, the University of Texas commit. Schmeckle was 1 for 3 in game 1, had a single, a couple of pop-ups to the outfield, and a walk. That is to the opposite field. That's going to get Clayton to third. He's going to come in. They're going to challenge the arm. Here's a throw. It's cut. It's in time. And the tag as Clayton slides to the backside of home plate and avoids the tag. And that's going to be an RBI single for the senior, Jack Schmeckle. And the Highlanders strike first here in the bottom of the first inning.
First baseman, number 9, Cruz Romo.
Brings up Cruz Romo, the first baseman for the Highlanders. And we have a courtesy runner running for the pitcher, Schmeckle. And he drops that sweeper in there for a called strike on Romo to get ahead in the count 0-1. Schmeckle singled. Clayton came around to score. That is on the ground to the third baseman. On to first, second to first, and the throw is offline up the first baseline, and that's going to be a fielder's choice for Cruz Romo. As Francia fielded it at third cleanly, got it to Freitas at second,
now up for your Highlanders,
but couldn't. He had
Bradley.
the runner bearing down on him and had a hard time getting that throw online. If it was online, it would have been in time for a 5-4-3. But instead, we have fielder's choice 5-4 as Romo switches places with Schmeckle at first base. 2 outs now here. Chase Bradley at the plate. A little check swing for strike 1. Two outs in the inning. That is swung on, lifted to left. That's going to, whoa, what a diving catch out there in left field by Thomas, Brody Thomas, flashing the leather for the third out of the inning and robs Bradley of what would have been a double, most likely an RBI for the third out of the inning. 1 hit, 2 hits. Highlanders push 1 across. They lead 1-0 here as we head to the second. This is Highlander Baseball on the Highlander Sports Network.
Reminder, we have our concessions fully stocked and ready with some of the best freshly grilled.
And we're moving on into the top of the second. It's going to be Owen Eastwood, Colin Wilson, and Brody Fridas for the Grizzlies. As the moon, that little partial close to full moon, I think the full moon was actually a night or two ago, is starting to come up on the horizon here on this beautiful, clear night here in South Texas, sitting at about 78 degrees as we are ready for action here in the second. Owen Eastwood at the plate. And fastball misses high and inside for ball one.
Number 9, the catcher, Eastwood.
To Eastwood. Highlanders leading by a score of 1-0 here. That misses on the inside for ball two. 2-0 count on Eastwood here in the second. He's leading things off for the Grizzlies. Swings and misses at the fastball. That's going to take the count to 2-1. Eastwood was 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt. And it was a sacrifice bunt that got the runner over to second. He advanced on the pass ball. That's going to even to 2-2 and eventually came in to score. The 2-2. That is swung on, lifted high into the air, here into the stands. Even the count at 2-2. The 2-2. Swings and misses. Gets the fastball behind Schmeckle at 93. Route number 1 here in the second inning.
Now batting the right fielder, number 5, Wilson.
That's going to bring up Callum Wilson, the right fielder for the Grizzlies. So he steps in with 1 out in the inning and nobody on. Wilson was 0 for 2 last Tuesday as he swings through that fastball for strike 1. He was hit by a pitch. That misses just a little high for ball 1. Evens it up at 1-1. Swings over the top of that fastball. Takes it to 1-2. Schmeckle eyeing up strikeout number 3. And this would be his second of the inning if he can complete it. The 1-2. Fastball right there. Can't catch up to it. Strikeout number 3, 2 in a row. As Schmeckle's feeling it. Two outs here in the second. That's going to bring up Brody Fridas for the Grizzlies. He's at second base tonight for the Grizzlies. 2 outs, nobody on. Highlanders lead 1-0. Fastball right there. Schmeckle's finding the groove. proven basically everything I've said for 20 years. You move the fastball around and you can throw it for strikes, you're going to dominate. There it is again. You can spot it at 93 to 95. At this level, it's going to be very difficult for hitters to hit. And the 0-2. And he misses outside for ball one. Looking to retire the side with all strikeouts. 3 so far here in the game through the second. The 1-2. And he gets it on the swing. 3 in a row for Schmeckle. 4 in a row counting last inning. Retires the side all on K's. We're heading to the bottom of the second. Highlanders lead 1-0. This is Highlander baseball, courtesy of the Highlanders Sports Network.
Highlander Nation, are you ready for your next dental appointment? Kcher Dentistry covers all the bases. We're located in the Woodlands, Texas, and proud supporters of Highlanders baseball. Kcher Dentistry is a dual specialist dental office dedicated to compassionate, high-quality care. Their practice is unique because they have 2 separate sides of the office, one for pediatric and one for adult dentistry, so the entire family can be seen in one visit. Give us a call at 281-292-1605. Again, that's 281-292-1605. Or visit www.kcherdentistry.com to schedule your next appointment. And be sure to mention Highlanders baseball. Kcher Dentistry, a home run for the whole family.
And we move to the bottom of the second for the Highlanders. McWhorter, Johan Fernandez, and Elias Diaz. Anybody reaches Bryson Bourne.
Leading off.
Highlanders leading 1-0.
Cash McWhorter.
As we start the second, McWhorter steps in. Andrew Clayton still on the bump. And a little sweeper misses down and in as they try to work that pitch. These righties like to work that pitch down and in to the lefties. The 1-0. That is up the middle. Backhanded by Freitas at second. And the throw. Not in time. McWhorter hustles it out for the infield single. Great play by Freitas to get to it. The action took him towards shortstop. He had to throw across his body and just couldn't get enough on it. And that's going to bring up Johan Fernandez with a runner at first and nobody out here in the second. Shows bunt. Takes a changeup low for ball one. All right, take that back. Strike one. Looks like he went at it. The 0-1. Bunt again, misses high with the fastball. Evens it up at 1-1 on Fernandez. Oh, never mind. He called that a strike. I'm way out of here. And he swings away now with 2 strikes. Takes the count to 1-2. McWhorter takes off. That is up the middle. No play at short. The throw across from Segura as he tried to turn a 6-3 unassisted, but McWhorter was already there. So a 6-3 for Fernandez.
Number 5, Elias Diaz.
McWhorter moves up to second on the fielder's choice. And Coach Farrell came out and is having a conversation with the second base umpire, and he does have a point. If those of you at home, you can pause this and rewind it a little bit. McWhorter went into the bag standing up. So I'm sure this question is of interference, but not sure what the home plate umpire would have seen in that. This is solely on second base umpire. I don't know if he needs clarification on the rule. That would result in a double play, as they have a discussion, and the ruling is McWhorter is safe at second. With 2 outs now here in the inning. And Elias Diaz at the plate. Take that back. 1 out in the inning. The 0-1 from Clayton. Swung on foul down towards the Highlanders dugout for strike 2. Diaz at third, senior. He was 0 for 3 on Tuesday with a walk. McWhorter getting Clayton's attention, and that is driven down into the corner. That's going to be 2 for Diaz, and picks up the RBI as McWhorter comes around to score. Diaz with a 1-out double picks up the RBI, and the Highlanders lead 2-0 here in the bottom of the second.
Now batting right fielder number 2, Bryson Bourne.
Brings up the right fielder, Bryson Bourne. Bourne 0 for 2 on Tuesday, had a sac fly, picked up an RBI in the process, and fastball misses outside for ball 1. One out, runner at second. The Highlanders have scored 1, looking to add to the lead. That is swung on and into the net here in front of us for strike 1. Evens it up at 1-1 on Bryson Bourne. If that name sounds familiar, that's the son of former Astros center fielder, outfielder Michael Bourne, U of H, hometown talent. And that is in there for called strike 2. 1-2 is the count on Bryson Bourne. 1 out in the inning, and Elias Diaz is at second. He picked up the RBI. Highlanders lead 2-0. High and outside evens it up at 2-2. The 2-2. And chopped foul towards the third base line, and we're going to keep it at 2-2. Bourne with an RBI opportunity. The pitch chases a fastball high and outside, and foul down the right field line and out of play. And we're going to keep it at 2-2. The 2-2 in the dirt with the changeup. That's going to run it full on Bryson Bourne. Cash Clayton on deck. We'll be back to the top of the order if Bourne reaches. And that's a walk to Bourne. That's going to put runners at first and second for the Highlanders. Cash Clayton singled in the first, stole second, came around to score on the single by Jack Schmeckle. And misses with the sweeper, ball 1. We're in the bottom of the second. Highlanders leading this game 2, 13-6A. Fastball misses high and outside. Runs it to 2-0. The Grizzlies took game 1, 6-5. Highlanders looking to even the series. It's a Highlanders' first district loss since 24. The 2-0. And pulls the string on the changeup. Runs it to 2-1 on Cash Clayton. And that one is smoked. See you later. Bye-bye. Touch 'em all. Mr. Clayton. Highlanders lead 5-0 on the 3-run bomb by Cash Clayton. Took a 2-1 fastball and put it on a tee and absolutely drilled it halfway up the trees into left field. And the Highlanders now lead by a score of 5-0.
Hitter Sawyer Banks.
Brings up Sawyer Banks, the designated hitter, with only 1 out in the inning and nobody on now. Fastball misses low. I think. Sometimes the umpire, I'm not sure where he's at. The 1-0. He thought about it. Catcher asking. It was on the plate. It had to either be low. Runs the count to 2-0. Swings at the fastball on the inside part of the plate for strike 1. Fouls it towards the Highlander dugout. Does Banks. Banks struck out looking back in the first. The 2-1 almost hits him. Runs out to 3-1. Takes that one right down center cut fastball. Not sure what he was looking for there on a 3-1 count. Anyways, takes it to 3-2. The pitch. I mean, you can see Clayton, he's frustrated. And that's going to get Coach Farrell out of the dugout, as Clayton was a little emotional after that pitch. Just to have this is a calm him down situation. I'm sure they've got action. I can kind of see through the fencing. They do have someone up in the bullpen. As he made some great pitches there to Banks. Wasn't getting the calls from, again, I'm sitting in the press box. From my point of view, those are on the plate. They just got to be low or high. That's hard to tell from the angle that I'm sitting at. But as far as location, those pitches looked fantastic. And so this is just more of Coach Farrell coming out. Let's have a discussion. Let's calm him down. Let's get his mind back in this game. You're down 5-0. And then he obviously waited for the umpire to walk out. And now him and the umpire are having a conversation about balls and strikes. And you got to be careful about that, or you'll end up sitting on the bus. Probably for the next hour and a half. But see if the strategy worked. That's just playing some chess right there. Jack Schmeckle at the plate. Sawyer Banks at first with the walk. Fastball misses outside and low. Now that one was a ball. Schmeckle singled back in the first. picked up the RBI. Sweeper misses outside, gets past the catcher Eastwood, and that's going to allow Banks to move on up to second on the pass ball. 2 balls, no strikes to count on Schmeckle. This is where you got to be sitting on a pitch that you can drill over the fence. The 2-0. And he takes it. Right down Broadway, he takes it for strike 1. The 2-1 on the way from Clayton. He overcooks that fastball, misses way outside to run it to 3-1. Let's see if he's going to throw him that center cut fastball again, see if Schmeckle's going to punish it. Highlanders leading 5-0. Sawyer Banks is at second. And the sweeper misses down and away, and back-to-back walks. Puts runners at first and second with 1 out. And Cruz Romo making his way to the plate.
Now batting first baseman number 9, Cruz Romo.
He reached on the fielder's choice. Back in the first. He stands in with runners at first and second. Fastball misses inside for ball 1. Clayton laboring. The 1-0. Misses down and in. Be surprised to see Coach Farrell come out of the dugout here again. This game can get away from him real quick. Middle of the order. And Romo takes the fastball. Just on the inner corner. The 2-1 just misses off the inside. That's going to run it to 3-1. Cruz Romo, the brother of former Highlander and current White Sox, Drew, and that misses down and in. And another walk, and Clayton visibly frustrated, and that's going to be the night for him as Coach Farrell makes his way out of the dugout, and we're going to have a pitching change. And that's going to be brought to you by Kacher Dentistry of the Woodlands. They offer pediatric and adult services. They are here in the Woodlands, your hometown dentist, and proud supporter of Highlander baseball and have been for the past 3 seasons. Thank you, Kacher Dentistry. Check them out and tell them I sent you in. We'll be back right after this. Cade Calhoun coming out of the bullpen, the righty for the Grizzlies, and Chase Bradley at the plate. Bases juiced and 1 out in the inning. Bradley, the 9th hitter to the plate this inning for the Highlanders. Bottom of the second, they lead 5-0. The pitch on the ground, up the middle. Francia tosses to second. Segura on the way to the first and not able to dig it out. 1 run is in. 2 runs in on the throwing error. Hold on, timeout, timeout, timeout. We've got an interference call at second. They're going to give them the double play. None of the runs are going to count. So on the interference play, that's going to be a 4-6-3 double play. So let's walk back through this as Coach Eastman's having a conversation with the umpire in the field. And obviously the conversation that Coach Farrell had earlier on the interference call, again, it's a subjective call, so he did slide a little late. Umpire saw it, interrupted. You either got to give yourself up, slide into the bag. So the 4-6-3 ends the double play. The double play ends the inning. No runs come across out of all that because the bases were loaded. We had 1 out, and so we head to the top of the third. It's a 5-1 ball game. Trying to sort this out through my scorebook. So we're going to stay here with you as we move into the top of the third.
Leading off for the Grizzlies, number 0, Fritas.
All right, Brody Freitas at the plate, ground ball down the third baseline. Diaz on the backhand, he slips the turf monster. Got Diaz as he was unable to complete the play, slips, and Freitas gets things started here. That would have been a coast play. I'm giving him the infield single. Diaz had to come charging, backhand it, make the throw and the run to get the out. Freitas with speed. So I got the single in the book for him. I'm still trying to sort out how that inning ended. That was just a strange play. That is hammered out to right field. Bourne charging. He ain't going to get there. It's going to drop in front of him. And that's going to be a single. So back-to-back singles. Segura and Freitas and the Grizzlies have something going here in their half of the third with runners at first and second. And Brody Thomas, the left fielder, at the plate.
That brings up right left fielder, number 1, Thomas.
Can't catch up with the fastball. For strike 1. No outs. Runners at first and second for the Grizzlies. The 0-1. Right there on the inside corner. For strike 2 to Brody Thomas, left fielder. Thomas was 1 for 3 last Tuesday with a single. The 1-1 takes the fastball on the outer third for called strike 2 or 3. That's the 4th strikeout of the game for Jack Schmeckle, the University of Texas commit.
Now batting leadoff batter, number 3, center fielder, Talley.
That takes us back to the top of the order, and Colton Talley, the center fielder. He reached on a walk to lead the game off back in the first. We're here in the third. Highlanders leading 5-0. That misses down and away for ball 1. Can't catch up to the heater on the outside corner. Evens it up at 1-1. 1 out. Runners at first and second for the Grizzlies. They're trailing by 5. Highlanders put 1 up in the first and 4 in the second. 3 of those off the bat of Cash Clayton's 3-run homer. That's chopped foul towards the Highlander dugout. For strike 2, takes it to 1-2. On Colton Talley, he's the leadoff hitter for the Grizzlies. He walked back in the first. Schmeckle stares in, gets the sign. The 1-2. Dots the corner. Second strikeout of the inning, 5th of the game for Schmeckle. He's dealing. And out number 2. Brings up Hector Francia, the third baseman. He flew out to Cash Clayton.
Number 16.
Out in center in the first. Slider misses down and in for ball 1. The 1-0 from Schmeckle. That is drilled out to the right center gap. Clayton on his horse, gets there, in front of the wall, makes the catch. Made it look easy, does Cash Clayton for the 3rd out of the inning. Couple of hits, no runs. Schmeckle works out of some traffic. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. Highlanders lead 5-0. This is Highlander baseball, courtesy of the Highlander Sports Network.
Highlander Nation, are you ready for your next dental appointment? txhsbsb Dentistry covers all the bases. We're located in the Woodlands, Texas, and proud supporters of Highlanders baseball. txhsbsb Dentistry is a dual specialist dental office dedicated to compassionate, high-quality care. Their practice is unique because they have 2 separate sides of the office, one for pediatric and one for adult dentistry, so the entire family can be seen in one visit. Give us a call at 281-292-1605. Again, that's 281-292-1605. Or visit www.txhsbsb.com to schedule your next appointment. And be sure to mention Highlanders baseball. txhsbsb Dentistry, a home run for the whole family.
As we take the action into the bottom of the 3rd here at Scotland Yard on this beautiful, nice, comfortable 75-degree evening here. And first pitch is a fastball, misses outside to Cash McWhorter. He lead things off. He singled and came around to score back in the second. And that misses down and away for ball 2. McWhorter with a lot of pop in the bat. 2-0 dangerous pitch here. And he punches that one out into right field for a single. He's 2 for 2 on the evening with 2 singles. Some speed on the bases as he was stealing second base. He has stolen
12, Johan Fernandez.
on a hit and run. That's going to bring up Johan Fernandez. He grounded into a 6-3. No outs. Here's the pitch. Curveball gets away from Calhoun for ball 1. And a check on McWhorter. He's extended his lead. Leaning, nothing as Calhoun steps off. And that fastball is right there on the outside corner. That's going to even it up at 1-1 on Fernandez. Johan Fernandez, younger brother of Gian Fernandez. Was on last year's team, senior. I think he's up at Arkansas these days. The 1-1 swings over the top of the fastball for strike 2. A lot of great young men on last year's team, 2025 seniors. A lot of them are playing around the state. Quite a few of them in the JUCO ranks. The 1-2 swings and foul tips into the glove of Eastwood to complete the strikeout. And that's out number 1 here in the third for the Highlanders.
Now batting third baseman, number 5, Elias Diaz.
As Elias Diaz at the plate, he doubled back in the second. And McWhorter came around to score, picked up the RBI. And a check on McWhorter. Highlanders leading 5-0 here in the bottom of the third. Runner at first. That is swung on, lifted on the infield. Francia under and makes the catch for out number 2. Now it's going to bring up the right fielder, Bryson Bourne. He singled to right field.
For your Highlanders, number 2, Bryson Bourne.
Back in the second. That was a big second inning for the Highlanders. Sent 9 to the plate. So Bourne at the plate with 2 outs and a runner at first. And Calhoun almost caught McWhorter off guard with that move. And again, McWhorter takes off. The throw way offline. That's going to be stolen base for McWhorter as he is into scoring position with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Bourne, RBI opportunity. Cade Calhoun on the mound for the Grizzlies. He steps off. Has Eastwood run back through signs. Counts 1-0, 2 outs. Cash McWhorter's at second. He singled. Here's the pitch. That is right at the shortstop. Segura took a big hop and the throw in time. He gets the speedy Bourne. 6-3 on the put out. We're moving to the top of the fourth. Highlanders lead this 5-0. You're watching Highlander baseball, courtesy of Highlander Sports Network. as we move to top of the fourth. Schmeckle back out for another inning of work, his fourth. 5 strikeouts through 4 for Jack Schmeckle. A couple of hits, those came back in the third.
Leading off for Grand Oaks, number 24, Martin.
And Colin Martin, the first baseman, leading things off here for the Grizzlies in the top of the fourth. As Schmeckle drops a changeup in there. It's the first time I see him do that tonight. For strike 1, or he just took a little off the fastball. And he dialed it up on that one. Overcooks it a little, puts it to the outside. Evens it at 1-1. The 1-1 to Martin. That is swung on and down the right field line, drifting and out of play. That's going to run to 1-2 on the first baseman for the Grizzlies, Colin Martin. He grounded into a 5-4-3 double play back in the first. The 1-2. And again, he just overcooks it. Evens it at 2-2. Man, what a beautiful fastball from Schmeckle. He started that on the middle of the plate. A little two-seamer with some run on it. Cut it back up underneath the hands for his 6th strikeout of the game.
Clayton.
The pitcher, or former pitcher, Andrew Clayton. And that one runs inside and almost hits him for ball 1. One out. The 1-0 from Schmeckle. He drops the slider, just doesn't get the call for ball 2. And the check swing, he gets him on the check swing. Home plate umpire makes the call, doesn't hesitate. That's going to take it to 2-1. And it's on the way. Puts it right there again, changes speed. Evens it at 2-2. On Andrew Clayton, the 2-2. Fastball just off the outside edge. It's going to run the count to 3-2. Payoff pitch. Gets him to expand the zone for a strikeout number 6. And out number 2. Second strikeout of the inning for Schmeckle. So he strike out the side once again.
Now batting for the Grizzlies, number 9, Eastwood.
That's going to bring up the catcher, Owen Eastwood, for the Grizzlies. With 2 outs and nobody on. Highlanders leading this game 2 with the Grizzlies by a score of 5-0. Puts the fastball right there down the middle for a called strike 1. Eastwood struck out back in the second. Just below the knees for ball 1. Evens it up at 1-1, 2 outs here in the fourth. The 1-1. Chases the slider for strike 2. The 1-2 from Schmeckle. Slider in the dirt. Evens it at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Highlanders leading 5-0. Overcooks the fastball and bounces it off the plate. Runs the count full. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Schmeckle glares in, glove up high. Gets a signal. Payoff pitch on the way. Swing and a miss as he strikes out the side for the 2nd time. That is strikeout number 7 on the night for Jack Schmeckle. Highlanders lead it 5-0. We move to the bottom of the 4th. This is Highlander Baseball on the Highlander Sports Network. And we are heading into the bottom of the 4th. Highlanders leading 5-0. It's going to be the top of the order for the Highlanders. Cash, Clayton, Sawyer Banks, and Jack Schmeckle. As there's a little bit of action starting down in the Highlander bullpen.
Now let's give it up for your leadoff.
Wouldn't be surprised to see someone kind of maybe come in if the pitch count runs up on Schmeck. They're probably going to want to have him available for one of the games this weekend, probably Saturday, for a couple innings, and then they head into full district starting next Tuesday. So Tuesday, Thursday, Friday next week. And first pitch that's swung on by Cash Clayton. For strike 1. The 0-1. Late swing on that one. And he blasted towards the Highlander dugout. And that's strike 2. Clayton 2 for 2 on the night. Single scored in the 1st, and then the big 3-run homer in the 2nd. The 0-2. Fastball misses high and outside for ball 1. Clayton, only a junior, has been on varsity since he was a freshman. This kind of seems to be, and slider misses outside to even it up at 2-2. That's typical for the Woodlands. About every 2 to 3 years, you get one of those kids that break through, and that's on the ground of Segura. Big hop throw is not, and actually takes the first baseman, Martin, off the bag. He can't make the tag. So an E6 on the throw, and Clayton's on base for the 3rd time this evening.
Now batting number 10, designated hitter Sawyer Banks.
And Sawyer Banks at the plate. He struck out in the 1st and walked in the 2nd. And the field umpire having a conversation with Calhoun. And a little bit of action down in the Grizzlies pen. There was a little bit in the Highlanders. Don't see anybody in there now. Misses high. For ball one to Banks. And check on Clayton. Clayton with speed. Clayton is one of those, has speed, has length, about 6'4". That is swung on and fouled straight back into the net. For strike one, evens it at 1-1. Speed, length, strength, power, he can hit. And if you didn't see the play back in the first, that he threw an absolute BB to first from center field or right center. Showing off the arm. He's on the mound, sits around 91, 92 on the mound, has the tools. Again, one of those freshmen to play. Not just be on the team, but played. He came up his freshman year. I called his first at bat. He had a 3-run homer up in Conroe back in 24. And it was one of those games where he came up, hit the home run. The Highlanders were struggling. They were like 1-5 or 1-6 in district, and he lit a spark, and they went on a run and clawed their way into the playoffs that season. The 1-2 misses high. Runs the count full on Banks. See if Clayton takes off. And Banks chases the curve. And that's a strikeout. His second of the game. That's going to bring up the pitcher, Jack Schmeckle.
Jack Schmeckle.
With one out and a runner at first. That's Cash Clayton. Bends the curveball in there for a called strike to Schmeckle. Schmeckle 1 for 1, singled in the first and walked in the second. Fastball misses high. Evens it up at 1-1. Highlanders leading 5-0 if you're just joining us. As Clayton takes off and Schmeckle pokes it out to center. Tally under makes the catch for the second out. And that's going to bring up Cruz Romo for the Highlanders. His brother Drew had an interesting offseason. Was waived, picked up, waived, picked up,
Romo.
And eventually landed with the White Sox. He made it to the big leagues a couple years ago with the Rockies. The 0-2 takes a change up for a called strike. With 2 outs here in the fourth. The 0-1. That is swung on down the third baseline, drifting foul and out of play. That's going to be strike 2 on Mr. Romo with 2 outs. Cash Clayton at first. As the Grizzlies have yet to have a clean inning in this game. The 0-2, Clayton takes off. That is swung on and down the right field line. Wilson coming in, settles and makes the catch for out number 3. We're going to move to the 5th. Highlanders lead this by a score of 5-0 in this game. 13-6A matchup. You're watching Highlander baseball on Highlander Sports Network.
Highlander Nation, are you ready for your next dental appointment? txhsbsb Dentistry covers all the bases. We're located in the Woodlands, Texas, and proud supporters of Highlanders baseball. txhsbsb Dentistry is a dual specialist dental office dedicated to compassionate, high-quality care. Their practice is unique because they have 2 separate sides of the office, one for pediatric and one for adult dentistry, so the entire family can be seen in one visit. Give us a call at 281-292-1605. Again, that's 281-292-1605. Or visit www.txhsbsb.com to schedule your next appointment. And be sure to mention Highlanders baseball. txhsbsb Dentistry, a home run for the whole family.
And here we go, moving into the top of the
Leading off for
5th
Grand
inning.
Oaks, number 5, Wilson.
Colin Wilson, Brody Freitas, and Sebastian Segura, the shortstop. Here in the 5th inning for the Grizzlies. Wilson struck out back in the 2nd. Schmeckle has the 2nd, where he struck out the side, and the 4th. 7 strikeouts in the game. And I don't know if that was a Bull Durham thing. I don't know if Bradley told him to hit the mascot, but he attempted it. That was just a bit outside for ball 1. The 1-0 on the way. Outside again. He's flying open that front side. He's just getting maybe a little tired here. We're still early in the season. 10 games in. That's right there on the outside corner. So he swings on it and fouls it towards the Grizzly dugout for strike 1. Runs count to 2-1. As we're just getting started here in the 5th. The 2-1 on the way. And that is rocketed back up the middle for a single for Colin Wilson.
Now up for the Grizzlies.
And it's going to bring up
number 0, Freitas.
Brody Freitas, second baseman / designated hitter, with a runner at first and no outs. And swings through the fastball for strike 1. Chases the slider in the dirt. That's when Schmeckle is effective, when he can get that fastball and that slider out of that same slot. The arm action's the same. There's the fastball again. Misses down with that one. That's going to run to 1-2. Because it just looks like the fastball and takes that turn just like that. That gets away from Bradley. The runner is going to move up. And that's only the second time tonight that the Grizzlies have had a runner at second base. Counts 2-2. No outs. Runner at second. Jack Schmeckle set. The 2-2. He overcooks that one, gets away from him. Bradley's got a chance now. And the throw, oh, I think he missed him on the first tag. I think if he would have tagged him and held the tag, he pulled it off and tagged him again. That's kind of a key to the umpire that you didn't get him the first time. And that's their first base runner at third base on the evening with no outs, the 3-2. And overcooks that slider. So a single, a couple of pass balls, and a walk, and the Grizzlies have runners at first and third. That's going to get Coach Eastman out of the dugout. And it's another situation here where you're just coming out to have a conversation. He's overthrowing. Just getting him relaxed, calming down, getting back in the zone. And the way he's been working here so far tonight, I would say once we get to the 6, he's probably going to strike out 3 again. So he struck out the side in the 2nd, the side in the 4th. 8 strikeouts on the evening for Jack Schmeckle. He's been pitching a gem of a game. And Sebastian Segura, the shortstop for the Grizzlies.
Now batting the shortstop, Segura.
At the plate with runners at first and third. No outs. Going to play for 2, give the run up. You're up by 5. Get the double play. Swings through the fastball for strike 1. When he's on the plate, that fastball has to have some vertical movement to it because they're just not even tipping it. And he overthrows that one. Evens it up at 1-1. No outs, runners on the corner. On the corners for the Grizzlies. The 1-1. Taps it foul at the plate. That's going to take it to 1-2. Brody Thomas on deck for the Grizzlies. Highlander bullpen's awfully quiet. I don't even see anybody stretching. And a check on the runner. The 1-2. In the dirt with the fastball. Rolls that count to 2-2. Now we got a little bit of, a couple guys walked out of the Highlander dugout stretching. This pitch 72's on the way, swings over the top of the slider, and down goes Segura for strikeout number 9 on the evening for Jack Schmeckle. And out number 1. And that's going to bring up, we're going to have a pinch hitter. Green. That's number 28. Don't have a first name and game changer, just C. Green.
Pinch hitting for the Grizzlies, number 28, Green.
So Green hitting for Thomas with runners on the corner and 1 out. That is swung on and popped up and over our head in the press box for strike 1. Top of 5, Grizzlies with runners on the corners, 1 out. Highlanders leading 5-0 as they're trying to chip into this lead. Swings, not even close to the slider on that one. He was selling out for the fastball, got the slider. That runs count to 0-2. looking to get strikeout number 10 in the books. And he comes inside, misses, runs it to 1-2. And check on the runner. Schmeckle looking for that double-digit strikeout. As time's called at the plate by Green. And misses with the slider, evens it at 2-2. And there it is, gets him swinging. And that's strikeout number 10 for Jack Schmeckle. And Kenny strike out the side here in the 5th. Allows 2 base runners, gets 2 strikeouts. 2 outs here in the inning, runners at first and third. Leadoff hitter Tally at the plate, takes a slider in the dirt for ball 1. And Bradley calls time off. He took that, he's kind of shaking that left wrist. I don't know if that one kind of came up and caught him on the heel or on the wrist. He's working the wrist pretty good. Waiting for someone from the stands to yell, "Rub some dirt on it." Just took a little time to gather himself. We're good to go. And he is Bradley back down, running through signs. And here we go, the 1-0. And that run on the fastball ran away from Tally. Started on the outer third, came off the plate, he expanded. And that takes it to 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, runners on the corners. The pitch. Just off the outside corner, the umpire is giving you that step back like he's going to punch it with the left arm, then he doesn't. He's teasing us. Takes it to 2-1. 2 outs in the inning. The pitch. Swings and chases the slider. Runs it to 2-2. Not sure Coach Eastman got up off the bucket and was shouting some instructions. I didn't quite hear what he said. I don't know if he was backing the outfield up or the 2-2. And tap foul at the plate as Tally hanging on to stay alive here in the 5th inning with 2 outs. He's just looking to poke one out there and pick up an RBI, get the Grizzlies on the board, try to get something started. The 2-2. And that is out to right, born on his horse, and makes it look easy. Catches it right in front of the wall in right center for the 3rd out. Schmeckle works out a little bit of a jam here in the 5th. Picks up a couple of strikeouts. The Grizzlies put a couple of hits together, leave 2 stranded. Highlanders lead 5-0 as we move to the bottom of the 5th here at Scotland Yard. This is Highlander baseball on the Highlander Sports Network. The 1-0. Misses high again. Runs that count to 2-0 on Bradley. It's that one spot, one pitch. He's sitting on something good. And Calhoun steps off, asks for Eastwood to run through those signs again. And he does it again. Now he's asking for Eastwood to come out. This is one of those conversations where he's getting whatever is being put down he's not liking. And just me speculating, odds are this Calhoun is familiar with Bradley. And sometimes that happens. You see guys that see each other through the spring, through the summer, through the fall, and some of these times these guys have your number. Here's a 2-0. He takes that for a strike. Evens it up at 2-1. The 2-1 on the way. And a little curveball gets Bradley out front. Evens it up at 2-2. Misses way outside with the fastball. Runs count full on the catcher, Bradley. And that's going to be through the middle. Single for Bradley. His first time on base tonight. And that's going to get us a courtesy runner.
Number 1, left fielder, Cash McWhorter.
And that's going to bring up the left fielder, Cash McWhorter. He's 2 for 2 on the night with a couple of singles. He takes that one right, drops a little curveball in there on the inside corner for strike one. And check on the runner. The 0-1 misses high and inside, a little chin music. McWhorter, second-year starter. He's only a junior. Started last year as a sophomore for the Highlanders. And cuts it loose on that fastball and fouls it back into the parking lot for strike two. That's going to take the count to 1-2 on McWhorter. The 1-2. That's high skied, shallow right on the infield. Second baseman Francia backs up, makes the catch just behind first base. And McWhorter is retired on the infield high sky fly ball. That's going to bring up Johan Fernandez with one out in the inning. And a runner at first. Fernandez has grounded to Segura at short, and he struck out. And he takes a curveball on the outside corner for a called strike. Bradley singled to get things started for the Highlanders here in the fifth. And takes off, and a little bit of a collision at second. Ball pops loose from Segura. And he's a little Coach Eastman checking on him. The 1-1. Curveball misses outside. Runs it to 2-1 on Johan Fernandez. Calhoun steps off. Herrera, the courtesy runner at second. The 2-1 is swung on. That's out towards center, drifting his tally to left center, makes the catch. And strong throw by Tally. Holds Herrera at second. So Fernandez flies out to Tally in deep center. That's going to bring up Diaz. He doubled back in the second and then
Diaz
flew out on the infield to the second baseman, Francia. As he steps in with 2 outs and a runner at second. He takes the curveball high for ball 1. Just off the outside edge. Runs the count to 2-0. 2 outs, runner at second. Highlanders leading 5-0. That is swung on right back here towards the stands and off the roof of the press box for strike 1. Calhoun and Eastwood are just having some problems. And the umpire's like, no, not again. You guys have already called time 4 times. He's like, you got to figure this out. The 2-1. Just had to be a high. It was right there on the outside corner. That's going to take it to 3-1. Curveball in the dirt. And that's going to be a walk for Diaz. Brings up Bryson Bourne. Puts runners at first and second here for the Highlanders in the 5th with a 5-0 lead.
Now batting right fielder number 2, Bryson Bourne.
Bryson Bourne at the dish for the Highlanders. The pitch is a fastball right there on the outside corner for a called strike 1. Herrera at second, Diaz at first. 2 outs. Bourne at the plate, the 0-1. As he fouls off the curveball down towards the Highlander dugout for strike 2. Bourne singled in the second, grounded to the shortstop Segura. Almost beat that out. Talk about speed. That is down the right field line. That is, it gets down, it's going to be trouble. Bounces in front. 1 run in. Here comes Bourne into second, and the ball is cut. And Bourne sprinting out of the box turns a single into a double and picks up an RBI, and the Highlanders lead 6-0. On the double, 2-out double by Bryson Bourne.
7, Cash Clayton.
As Herrera comes in to score, Diaz goes to third. Cash Clayton at the plate with 2 outs. Runners at second and third. Fastball, curveball misses outside. For ball 1. Overcooks that fastball. Way outside to take it to 2-0. Does Cash Clayton have another 3-run bomb in him? He's sitting on a 2-0 count. He's zeroed in the pitch. Misses high with the curveball. 3-0. Now I'm giving him the green light. It's probably going to be the best pitch he sees in this count. You're up by 5. Got runners at second and third. You got 2 outs. He's already got a 3-run bomb. Throws him the curveball. They didn't want no part of that. And that's a walk for Clayton. Loads the bases with 2 outs. And brings up Sawyer Banks for the Highlanders. He's a designated hitter tonight. Struck out in the first, walked in the second, struck out in the fourth. Could inflict some damage here. Well, I keep saying 5-0. It's actually 6-0. He puts one out here, the game's over. Banks calls time. Takes the fastball high. And if you're going to hear the student section, that's 6 pitches in a row that have all been balls. The 2-0. Swung on, lifted to shallow center. Tally coming in, under, makes the catch. For out number 3. Highlanders push one across on a couple of hits. Now lead this one by a score of 6-0 here as we move to the top of the 6th inning. This is Highlander baseball on the Highlander Sports Network.
Highlander Nation, are you ready for your next dental appointment? K'cher Dentistry covers all the bases. We're located in the Woodlands, Texas, and proud supporters of Highlanders baseball. K'cher Dentistry is a dual specialist dental office dedicated to compassionate, high-quality care. Their practice is unique because they have 2 separate sides of the office, one for pediatric and one for adult dentistry, so the entire family can be seen in one visit. Give us a call at 281-292-1605. Again, that's 281-292-1605. Or visit www.kcherdentistry.com to schedule your next appointment. And be sure to mention Highlanders baseball. K'cher Dentistry, a home run for the whole family.
And we move to the top of the 6th, and that's going to be the end of the day for Jack Schmeckle. 83 pitches. He goes 5 innings, gives up 3 hits, no runs, no earned runs, 2 walks, and strikes out 10 in 5 innings. 10 out of 15 hitters he struck out. Pitch count's up there around 83. Not sure if they're wanting to hold off to get him an inning or two of work on this weekend. But they go to the bullpen, and Jack Fuller takes the mound
Now batting number 16,
for
Francia.
the Highlanders, as Hector Francia is going to lead off the 6th. He has flown out to center field, Cash Clayton, twice in this game. Jack Fuller's first pitch is center cut fastball right there for a called strike 1, and he is off and running. That misses for ball 1. Evens it at 1-1. Nice little tailing fastball from Jack Fuller. Takes it to 1-2 on Francia. He's working from a little low 3/4 slot. Right there. Oh, diving catch by Johan Fernandez. Cue the music. Da-da-da. Da-da-da. Web gem from Johan Fernandez. Nice play by that youngster. Brings up the first baseman, Colin Martin, with 1 out in the inning and nobody on. Nice little pitch right there from Fuller as the bottom fell out of that one. Tips it into the glove of Bradley for strike 1. One ball, one strike. 1 out here in the 6th. Fastball just off the outside edge for ball 2 to Colin Martin, first baseman for the Grizzlies at the plate. Boom, that one's down the left field line. That is trouble and into the trees for Colin Martin, and the Grizzlies are on the board. Solo shot by Colin Martin. And the Grizzlies have their first run of the game on the home run by Martin. That makes it a 6-1 ball game. Here in the top of the 6th.
Now batting number 8, Clayton.
Brings up Andrew Clayton. He struck out twice in the 2nd and in the 4th. Puts a fastball on the outside corner for strike 1 on Andrew Clayton. The 0-1 right there again. Fuller working around the plate. 2 swing and misses. Working fast, the 0-2. Boom, right there on the outside corner. Beautiful pitch from Fuller. And Clayton strikes out for the 3rd time of the night.
Now batting the catcher, number 9.
And 2 outs now here in the 6th. And the catcher, Owen Eastwood, at the plate with 2 outs. Little changeup, misses just below the knees for ball 1. And puts it right there. A little action on it, evens it up at 1-1. Fuller being effective. Gave up the home run. Missed a little high. Runs it to 2-1. Boom, right there on the inside corner. Beautiful run on that pitch. Ran it right into the hands. Nothing that Eastwood could do with that. And that evens it up at 2-2. And strikes out the side, does Fuller. Gets up the home run, though. The Grizzlies get on the board. That's a third strikeout of the night for Eastwood. Highlanders, we move to the bottom of the sixth, lead this one 6-1. This is Highlander baseball, courtesy of the Highlander Sports Network.
Whitlock.
And a pitching change for the Grizzlies here in the sixth. That's going to be, I'll get this for you. He's going through his warm-ups. Student section kills me.
For your Highlanders, number 6.
So
Jack
Whitlock
Fuller
comes in out of the bullpen. And Jack Fuller entered the game for Jack Schmeckle, so he's going to hit in Schmeckle's spot in the lineup. And here we are ready to rock and roll here in the Highlanders. Half of the sixth, they lead this 6-1. Jack Fuller at the plate. And curveball misses down and away for a ball one. The 1-0. Swung on and fouled into the net. Evens it up at 1-1. This has been communication issues between the catcher and pitchers for Grand Oaks all night. The 1-1 misses with the curveball. That takes it to 2-1. No outs as we're just getting started here in the sixth. That is swung on down the right field line and drifting foul. And that is going to even it up at 2-2. The 2-2. Right at the first baseman, Martin. On the line drive, and he snags it for out number one. That's going to bring up Cruz Romo with 1 out here in the inning and nobody on. Highlanders leading 6-1. Romo fielder's choice in the first, walked in the second, and then flew out to right in the fourth. 1 for 2 on the night, or 0 for 2. Curveball misses outside for ball 1 to Romo. Chase Bradley on deck. The 1-0. Big swing and a miss, as he was trying to make it 7-1. Has the power in the bat to do it. The 1-1. As chopped on the ground to the third baseman, can't get there, and it gets through him and Segura. A little CNI single the opposite way for Cruz Romo, and the Highlanders have a runner at first with 1 out here in the 6th. Bradley flew out to left in the first, was robbed by Brody Thomas of a double, then grounded into a 4-6-3, and he singled in the 5th, looking to keep this inning going with another hit. And almost hits him as that gets away from Eastwood, and that's going to allow Romo to move up to second on the pass ball. And that takes the count to 1-0 on Chase Bradley, the catcher for the Highlanders. 3-year starter. Been the signal caller since his sophomore year. The 1-0. That is on the ground to the third baseman, Francia, and he makes the throw across in time for the second out of the inning.
That brings up left fielder number 1, Cash McWhorter.
Cash McWhorter makes his way to the plate with 2 outs here in the 6th. He singled in the second, singled in the third, stole second, and flew out to the second baseman, Freitas, and he just unloads on another one. High fly ball. Freitas in shallow right makes the catch for out number 3. As Whitlock comes in, gets the holds the Highlanders to no runs. 1 hit from Cruz Romo as they lead this game 6-1. We're moving to the top of the 7th. Highlanders lead by 5. You're watching Highlander baseball, courtesy of the Highlanders Sports Network.
Highlander Nation, are you ready for your next dental appointment? Kacher Dentistry covers all the bases. We're located in the Woodlands, Texas, and proud supporters of Highlanders baseball. Kacher Dentistry is a dual specialist dental office dedicated to compassionate, high-quality care. Their practice is unique because they have 2 separate sides of the office, one for pediatric and one for adult dentistry, so the entire family can be seen in one visit. Give us a call at 281-292-1605. Again, that's 281-292-1605. Or visit www.kacherdentistry.com to schedule your next appointment. And be sure to mention Highlanders baseball. Kacher Dentistry, a home run for the whole family.
And we are moving into the 7th inning. It's going to be Colin Wilson, right fielder, Brody Freitas, and then Sebastian Segura, if anybody reaches, Brody Thomas. Jack Fuller back out for a second inning of work. Fastball is swung on, and that is down towards the left field line and out of play for strike one. And swings over the top of that fastball. And that's going to take it to 0-2. The 0-2. Almost kneecaps him. For ball one, that's going to take it to 1-2. And that is poked out towards left. McWhorter can't get there. Slides and keeps it in front of him. So a leadoff single for Wilson.
Hamburgers and hot dogs left. First 4 or 5 to get there, get them for free.
Ooh, have you heard that if you're at the ballpark?
Number 0.
Free hot dogs. And the stands just emptied. It's the running of the Bulls. And pulls the string on the changeup for strike one on Brody Fridas. No outs, you got a runner at first. The 0-1. And they called a balk. He didn't come set. Working a little too fast. Keeps the count at 0-1, moves the runner up to second with no outs. The 0-1 from Fuller. Swing and a miss. Nice little backing up the pitcher there by Fernandez. Always like to see that. Top of 7. Runner at second. Brody Fridas at the plate with an 0-2 count. Jack Fuller, the pitch, is fastball off the plate. Runs that count to 1-2. The 1-2 on the way. And misses outside again. Evens it at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And gets him to expand the zone on the sweeper. And gets the strikeout. That's the third of the night for Fuller in just 2 innings of work. So 1 out in the inning, runner at second. Sebastian Segura, the senior. Shortstop for the Grizzlies at the plate with 1 out. Changeup just below the knees for ball 1. Top of 7. Highlanders lead 6-1. Thought about it, held back. No, you're not going to get that call with that umpire. 2-man crew, you're not going to get it. That runs the count to 2-0 on Segura. Singled in the 3rd. He struck out in the 5th. He's one of those 10 strikeouts from Jack Schmeckle. So 13 strikeouts on the night for the Highlanders. Fuller's tossed in 3. Counts 3-0 on Segura. And puts one right down Broadway for a called strike. Runs the count full at 3-2. Swing. And a miss. Now it's 3-2. Runner at second, 1 out. Fuller is set. The 3-2. Paints the inside corner for the strikeout, his second of the inning, and Fuller's fourth of the night. And that's 14 on the night for the Highlanders. Brings up, don't know if we're going to have a re-enter here. I think this is Brody Thomas re-entering the game, or are we going to have another pinch hitter? Two outs, runner at second. The pitch is a changeup. Pulls the string on it for strike one. Charlie Molinado is the pinch hitter. 0-1 count. And just missed with that changeup. That's going to even up at 1-1. Two outs here in the seventh. Fuller looking to close it out. Overcooks the fastball. Misses way outside for ball two. That's going to take it to 2-1. The 2-1. That is swung on down the right field line. It's in play. Bourne giving chase, and makes the catch in foul territory against the fence for the third out, and that is a winner for the Highlanders. They take game two by a score of 6-1 and improve to 1-1 in District 13 6A play and 7-4 overall. They play Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They will be in the Langham Creek tournament. We'll have some numbers for you. Wrap it up here in a sec. Don't go anywhere. This is Highlander Baseball on the Highlander Sports Network.
Highlander Nation, are you ready for your next dental appointment? txhsbsb Dentistry covers all the bases. We're located in the Woodlands, Texas, and proud supporters of Highlanders baseball. txhsbsb Dentistry is a dual specialist dental office dedicated to compassionate, high-quality care. Their practice is unique because they have two separate sides of the office, one for pediatric and one for adult dentistry, so the entire family can be seen in one visit. Give us a call at 281-292-1605. Again, that's 281-292-1605. Or visit www.txhsbsb.com to schedule your next appointment. And be sure to mention Highlanders Baseball. txhsbsb Dentistry, a home run for the whole family.
And we'll give you a quick wrap here on this. Highlanders take game two of the two-game series with the Grizzlies by a score of 6-1 to even it up at 1 apiece. They are 1-1 in district, and they are 7-4-1 overall as they head to the Langham Creek tournament. That starts on Thursday. They play 12:30 Thursday against Cy Park. Thursday again at 3 o'clock against a rematch of last year's round 2 playoff game minus the probably best player in the state who graduated last year in Blaine Bullard. They do have their pitching staff. Most of their pitching staff is back, so that would be an interesting game. And then Friday at Cy Fair at 12:30, and then Klein Collins at 3 o'clock on Friday. They finish up Saturday at Cy Ranch. And then we have Willis here on Tuesday. That's a 2 o'clock game. Willis Thursday at Willis. That's a 2 o'clock game. And then I believe, going through the schedule here, that is Friday at Caney Creek. Again, 2 o'clock. Next week is spring break, so everything next week are day games. Our player of the game, he had 10 strikeouts, only gave up 3 hits through 5 innings pitch. Walk 2, that would be Mr. Jack Schmeckle, the University of Texas commit. Congratulations to Jack Schmeckle as he was feeling it on the mound tonight. Those 10 Ks, he was wheeling and dealing, kept the Grizzlies off balance all night. And then Jack Fuller coming out of the bullpen, picking up 4 strikeouts of his own and only 2 innings of work. So great job by the pitching staff. Jack Schmeckle, our player of the game on the Highlander Sports Network. We will be back with you Tuesday here on the Highlander Sports Network at 2 o'clock. That's going to be first pitch. We'll kick off pregame around 1:50. Right here, Highlander Sports Network will be at Scotland Yard on Tuesday. We'll be up at Willis on Thursday and Caney Creek on Friday. So 3 games coming at you here on the Highlander Sports next week, all during spring break. Thank you for joining us here tonight on the Highlander Sports Network. We'll see you Tuesday. Safe travels out there, and God bless.